Welcome to the Coach Jeff Garrett Show, where each week I bring you short, bite-sized podcasts filled with powerful ideas that you can use at home and at work. I'm a thought leader that believes you can have success while living life out of balance. I'm glad you're here. Let's get the show started. Have you ever felt impatient, more frustrated than usual, or simply just out of sync? I was talking to a client this week, and he had mentioned that I'm noticing that I'm a lot more impatient. I said, well, let's dig down into that a little bit. Tell me what's going on that's different than what has been going on. He said, well, we're just near the completion of building a new home, and it's taking a lot of my time. I'm spending time on the new house every single day. And so tell me what you think is making you more impatient. I said, I really don't know. I said, well, tell me about your routines. What do you normally do in the morning to get started? What do you normally do as your work routine and your evening routine? And we went through those particular routines. And there's a couple things that he went through and said, well, I only worked out 2 days last month, and I was sick for a few days there, so I had to take a break. But normally I'll work out 4 to 5 times a week. And one of the other things is, he said, I don't play my guitar like I have been playing my guitar. The last several months, I haven't really played at all other than when I was asked to play. And I asked him, what are some of your stress relievers? What are some of the things that you like to do to relieve your stress? And he said, well, I like to work out and I like to play my guitar. I said, okay, now you've found 2 things that you were doing before that you aren't doing now. Do you think that might have a little bit to do with the frustration and impatience that you're suffering right now? He said, those 2 things I really miss doing, and I'm going to put those back into my routine, and I'm going to get them in my calendar. And then we went a little bit deeper and we talked about, how do you feel when you start to get impatient internally? What does that feel like? And he explained what his feelings were. And I said, can you sense when that's starting to happen, that you're starting to have those feelings? Because it's really important to have the self-awareness to know when you're upset or you're feeling impatient, to acknowledge those feelings and understand the feelings that you have. Because at that point in time, you can recognize, okay, I'm starting to grow impatient. Why am I growing impatient? You ask yourself that question. Why am I frustrated? And it can usually lead you to some answers of, oh, I'm frustrated in the situation because. And with that self-awareness, it gives you the ability to cut off that impatience, or in this case, frustration. These are some of the things that I went over with him. And by the time we were done, we had reworked his morning routine, his work routine, and his night routine. So if you run into a situation where you're starting to feel more frustrated, more impatient, look at what's going on in your life. What's causing that right now? Also, are there any things that you were doing before that you aren't doing now? Maybe on a daily basis or a weekly basis. We have a waiting list for coaching starting in January. So if you'd like to get information on coaching, contact me at jeff@coachjeff.me. Thanks for listening, and be audacious. Please share this podcast with your friends and coworkers.